What makes a good matchup? It really is a fascinating question, isn't it? In a weird way. What makes the comparison of two storytelling tools, because that's what characters are, interesting to imagine for so many people? Because in this nerd-fested community that is all about analyzing how strong or crazy a fictional character is, you'd think the most heated debate out there on the internet would be about who is the strongest, who is the fastest, etc., etc. But I've come to realize that we're more passionate about who should fight who in the first place. When I've talked about how Korra versus Storm was a better matchup than Korra versus Rey, I've had a lot of a lot of agreements, but also a lot of disagreements and a lot of debates over it. When I say that Dio versus Alucard was the perfect matchup and was bound to happen, I didn't take too much risk with this one. A lot of people agree with this statement, but there's always a small minority that wanted to see otherwise. When I say Poe and Iron Fist's connection were kind of superficial and I would have personally wanted another opponent, well, a lot of you might disagree. A lot of you did, actually. It was the most disliked video on my channel. So another example. If I ask you right now, who would win between Reptile from Mortal Kombat and Lizardman from Soul Calibur, your answer is likely gonna be, well, fuck this. How about Reptor from Killer Instinct? Without even addressing the original question. And then I'm gonna tell you, well, that doesn't even make sense. He's a dinosaur. Reptile is a saurian, not a dinosaur like Riptor, and it doesn't make sense. And this is gonna be Iron Fist versus Poe all over again. You see what I mean? But for 11 years of Death Battle, and even since before, there was one matchup everybody could agree with. Two characters that we all agree should fight to the death. And we all agree that we wanted to see this for so long. And now, after 11 years of this magnificent show, it is happening. Galactus versus Unicron! Well, my transition will be a bit complicated. Let's just watch the show. Hello, you beautiful nerds of the world! Torok at your service! And welcome back to this reaction of Death Battle Season 8 finale! You've seen it in the intro, it's Saitama versus Popeye! Okay. No surprise, no turning around the bush. I don't like it. I'm really not a fan of this match. Maybe it's not even about the matchup. It's not. Okay, this is for me. This is if you've watched my previous reactions of the entire season, I like to do flashbacks. Think of it as a mix between Iron Fist versus Poe and Batman versus Iron Man. In which to me this is a matchup that I find, I know it has been like popular as hell, but I can't wrap my head around why. Like, the only similarities they have is, well, they punch hard. The hardest in all of fiction, granted. Like, I can definitely give you this. But that's it! That's all the matchup! That's all there is to say. Oh, but Popeye is bald. No, he's not. Okay, granted, with the amount of hair he has, he might as well be, but, like, come on, it's right there in your thumbnail. You should have seen it, no? When it's this inconsistent, even that doesn't work. Plus, it kind of ruins, and, well, this is more of a personal thing, you might not agree with me, but it kind of ruins all hope for one of my most wanted matchups, again, which was Asterix versus Popeye. Asterix is kind of obscure. It's kind of an obscure character in the US, and Popeye would have been such a good way to introduce him as an opponent. Now there's almost no chance that this ever happens, because everyone will know Popeye, and everyone will know that Popeye is already, like, Toon Force broken, and they'll know that this is an absolute stomp. So why the fuck would you want Popeye to return on Death Battle, right? Especially when he's already fought Saitama, who everyone begged their mom to have on Death Battle, no matter who he fought. And even that, even all of that, I could have taken it with a grain of salt. I could have tried to see the fun in it. I could have tried to see the occasion in it. I could like be happy for everyone who requested this match. If it wasn't the season finale of one of the biggest season of Death Battle, in terms of like, at least in terms of symbol, you know, like, I made the joke about Galactus versus Unicron, but I agree this was more this is more on me, because I was a bit forward, and I've made like fan arts in advance. I made a whole, like, I was overconfident with myself, but I kind of knew. I kind of knew what I was throwing myself into. I was kind of expecting it. I was kind of okay with the fact that I was wrong. But it could have been anything with more symbol. I know it's not just about Galactus versus Unicron or the matchups that I want, but it's about the Mets. Come on, baby, let's go to the Mets. Do a home run. Love the Mets. Something like something that's really high up there. Not a matchup. Almost like 50% of the population is assuming it's a joke battle. Hell, you know what joke battle could have made a better season finale for this season? Macho Man versus Kool-Aid Man. It has a theme related to Death Battle. It knows it doesn't make sense, so why the hell caring? Plus, it ends a narrative arc with Boomstick's dad, and it's just like, it was just a fun idea, a tease that was like teased in Death Battle for so fucking long. I know, Saitama vs. Popeye was a Death Battle cast, but what wasn't? But enough about the salt. I agree, this is the Death Battle finale. Whatever the matchup, we should be hyped, and I'm aware that it's going to be an amazing fight. And that's kind of my problem with it. Like, why would you invest so much into this? It's kind of like those Brendan Yates commission, like, you pay a lot of money, you have such an investment for things like Yang versus Infernape. Like, why? Like, respect to Brendan Yates, who does an amazing job, respect to the commissioner who had to put a lot of investment into it. But really? Like, into this? it's kind of... I don't want to say it's a waste, but it's kind of a waste. So, maybe in other circumstances, I would have taken it with a grain of salt. Just wrong timing for me. Like, very awful timing for this matchup. But anyway, enough about me ranting, and I don't want this whole video to be ranting and doing all of this stuff. There's also a lot of things that I want to look forward to this fight. Most notably, Popeye. I've watched all sorts of his cartoon when I was a teenager. I had kind of a phase where I was curious about like looking back to old cartoons, whether they were like from the 90s, the 80s, or even like older than that, like Popeye and stuff. And his cartoons are the ones I've stuck the longest with. Even today, I watch like old days Popeye, because there was a time where Popeye's animation kind of sucked, and they're not really funny, those ones, but like the very classic Popeye ones are really funny and wild. So I what can I say? I just love watching them. I just love watching them. And I know what you might be thinking. Maybe I don't like this matchup because of Saitama, which is false. Like, I'm never hiding it. I'm not an anime guy. I don't watch, I've never watched One Punch Man. I've only watched some clips, heard of his, like, accomplishments and the series overall. So I kind of know what he's about. But aside from that, like, One Punch Man didn't do anything wrong to me, so why would I want to be biased against him, or even like even not want him on Death Battle? Like, Saitama is such an interesting case when it comes to Death Battle, because there's two ways of interpreting the guy. First, there's the you know what? I'll talk about it when I go over to who I think would win. But point being said, I'm okay with Saitama being on Death Battle, and I'm more than open to Popeye being on Death Battle, given that he was on one of my most wanted match. I just wish it wasn't between those guys, and apparently I thought most people would agree, but apparently everybody decided to go blind. I don't know what happened when the Shadow versus Ryuko was announced back then. Everyone was like, "Oh, this is shit." During Lex versus Doom, everyone was like, "Oh, this is shit." When like Korra versus Storm, this was, "Oh, this is eh." But now everybody is like, no, this is the best matchup for Saitama and Popeye. You're just stupid. There's nothing wrong with this. This makes so much sense. This is so thematic. And when you ask them what's the theme exactly of this thematic, they're like, ooh. No, but jokes aside, more positive stuff. What can I talk about? I can talk about what I'm looking forward to see in this match. I think I've said it already. Honestly, they're both so different, yet it's gonna be so common. I don't know really like how crazy they're gonna go. Like, they're just gonna punch each other so hard it's gonna shatter reality. Which, oh yeah, that happened last season.
Oh, whoops. Whoopsie.
It was apparently said on the Death Battle cast that it's going to be 3D. Which, in my opinion, was the worst way to animate this fight, like, ever. Like, shout out to Devil Artemis, who I've heard is the one animating this fight. I'm sure he's gonna do an amazing job. Just like Saitama and Popeye, you don't imagine them in 3D. I thought this could, like, the best way it could have looked for me, it would have been in hand drawn animation, kind of like a Macho Man versus Kool-Aid Man, or Genos versus War Machine. To me, this is really the animation style where both characters would have really fit. Maybe 2D, maybe 2D sprites, but then it wouldn't live up to a season finale. Basically, I would have liked if it was hand drawn, and honestly, I think this would be kind of realistic in my opinion. Like, this seems kind of realistic during considering Death Battle's budget, Death Battle's influence, sort of. I'm sure 2 hand-drawn animations in one season could have been possible. Maybe I'm asking too much, but it sounds realistic to me. But and not that Popeye doesn't work in 3D. We've seen that Popeye definitely works in 3D. But when you have the budget. When you make a movie about him, not when it's not when it's a 3D Death Battle. I don't think it's that level of animation so far. Death Battle makes good stuff. They don't make movies. I'm trying to find as much good stuff to put out of it, but this is complicated for me. I'm sorry in advance, but I just know the match is gonna be good. They're gonna come up with better ideas than I have, definitely. Oh fuck! I didn't talk about who I think would win. Yes. Who I think would win. There's 2 ways of interpreting this fight, notably regarding Saitama. First, there's the boring one, where you just analyze Saitama for what he is, and you calculate just his feats, and you just put all the stats you can put together of what you saw, and you try to make something out of Saitama just like that. With this, Popeye wins, because Popeye has the power of Toon Force, which makes him basically infinite strength. He can be as strong as he wants to be, he can warp reality as much as he wants, and he has punched bigger things than Saitama in his show, currently, at least. I know that Saitama, Saitama has fought a monster that lifted a chunk of the earth. He was punched into the moon. Well, Popeye has been punched into the moon as well, and he flew back, kind of like Saitama, even though. He punched the fucking sun, or at least he threw something at the sun so hard, or it gave the sun a black eye, or it just pierced through it. He just shot a tree at it, and it just there's this spark of lightning and stuff. So he can damage the sun, which is way above what Saitama has done in his show, at least of what I know. I can be wrong. What he has physically done. Plus, Popeye is extremely tough because of being a cartoon character. He resisted reality itself being switched off. All of reality was extinct, destroyed, not existing anymore, and he was still there. He was still present because he eats his spinach. So how the hell, like Saitama doesn't have any option to kill him when I've just proved that Popeye has them. But that's the first interpretation. The second interpretation, and that's the one every One Punch Man obnoxious fan is gonna tell you, is that One Punch Man's limit is yet to be determined. It's possibly that it's never gonna be determined. Because that's the point of Saitama. Like, he is so absurdly strong, he can just one-punch every threat in his universe. That's probably gonna include God in the future. So, to me, it seems that Saitama's potential, at least his strength and durability and power output, are just limitless. So, I'm gonna give him, I'm gonna assume, in my head at least, let's say that Saitama is like omniversal, multi-omniversal plus 2 times square with a bunch of bananas. So that would mean that Saitama cannot be taken down with brute force, which would be a pain for Popeye. But that won't help Saitama kill Popeye at all, like any more than the first one. So at the best, it can be a stalemate until you remember Popeye is a cartoon, and he can punch people into transforming into completely unrelated objects. Like, he can punch an anchor into like fish hooks. He can punch a bull into punch a bull into a meat stand. He can punch Bluto into a sausage. Like, and they don't even need to be dead. Like, Popeye is just gonna neutralize them. He's just gonna turn Saitama into whatever racist stereotype. To me, that's the most likely outcome. And it's not even considering all of the different abilities that Popeye has that gives him the versatility advantage. Because again, he's a fucking cartoon, he can basically do whatever he wants. So, I don't like to say it most of the time, but it's really a stomp at this point. Not because of the strength and overwhelming durability, which is original, but Popeye just has way more bullshit. When Saitama's world is more grounded in reality, even Saitama himself, it's more of a, he's just physically unlimited, but it's only his physique. It's only his physique that does the job. When Popeye can literally spawn things and like shapeshift the world around him. So yeah, that doesn't sound good for Saitama. My cute little hope is that it ends up in a stalemate, kind of like a Chuck Norris versus Segata Sanshiro, when they're just still out there. They're still fighting. Like, that's my hope that would make it worth it, but realistically, Popeye just has it. Popeye just has it. You don't underestimate the power of rubber hose animation. Just don't underestimate it. The amount of American cartoon bullshit. You do not underestimate it. Anyway, I think that is all. I think that's all that needed to be said, that I needed to say. So, it's almost time. 11 years of Death Battle, everyone. Let's go. Now, hold on a second. Just because I don't like this match doesn't mean you have to dislike this video like I just did. support everyone and be happy because the YouTube removed the dislike button, so you have no fucking choice to do it. Otherwise, 3, 2, 1, finale, let's go! Bow, wow, 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 wow. I must give it my all because it's the last time you hear it before a long while.
The One Punch Man.
Popeye, the Sailor Man.
Yes!
Versus West. Old versus new.
Healthy eating versus basic exercise.
These two warriors may seem ridiculous, but their unassuming exteriors belie impossible strength.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Oh, it's hand-drawn! It's actually hand-drawn, yes!
Life is
It seems.
brutal and short. The challenges we face during our brief sojourn on this tiny blue marble are what make us human. They light a fire in our soul. They make it all worth something. Without them, we are lost.
Yeah, it's a little early in the day for an existential crisis, but luckily I came prepared.
For this
Of course.
salaryman, all it took to get
I
that
should have
fiery passion
taken a
back
Coke,
was to
too.
save this butt-chin child from a
Or a
crab
nice
monster
tea or
in
something.
underwear.
Oh well.
That was a sentence.
This man was Saitama, and he was going to be a superhero.
And so he trained.
So, show me how weird
Shattering the
Saitama
boundaries
is.
of humanity.
So hard, his friggin' hair fell out.
Saitama's strength grew exponentially day by day, with the goal of becoming the greatest hero who ever lived.
And much to his horror, that's exactly what he got.
All it took
Was one punch. Damn it! Again, I looked it up.
Too strong.
I looked it up a
One,
bit.
the only, the infamous, Caped Baldy.
But anyone who's cool knows him as One Punch Man, as in he can't help but beat almost every opponent he's faced in exactly one punch. One friggin' punch! And this is a universe with some pretty whacked out monsters, like a
So
giant
I've heard.
over a quarter of
Likes
a
fighting,
kilometer
video
tall,
games,
and
discount
can
prices,
stone
yes.
city-sized craters into
Hero
the
name
earth.
Kate
Or an
Baldy.
Esper who can effortlessly
25-year-old.
pull giant meteors from outer space.
A
Or
class
a monster
hero.
king who shaved off a continent from the Earth's surface and lifted it into the stratosphere.
Yes, that's the feat I wanted to talk about.
Sweat fighting any of them.
During their battle, that same Monster King absorbed this huge chunk of the Earth's core and fired it at Saitama.
Who blocked it by squirt gunning some lava at it. The lava he was bathing in, naked. And then he punched him. Surprise.
Saitama's created after images just by hopping side to side, defeated a martial arts master with his butt, and survived the inhospitable vacuum of space after being kicked all the way to the moon and before jumping back to Earth in about 16 seconds. That's 8% the speed of light.
Okay.
Kinda
That-
like the
that I've
attacks
seen.
from this alien dude who stated to move near light speed or punch so fast his fist starts to blue shift. You know, that thing that happens when you approach the speed of light?
Saitama utilizes his absurdly superhuman strength and speed with techniques like his devastating,
Punch. Normal punch.
and if he wants to amp it up, the
Consecutive normal punch.
Are you kidding me? Those are his attack names? What kind of self-respecting anime protagonist is he?
Plain and simple, he's a satire form. Instead of seeing his journey from the beginning and enjoying his struggle to the top,
He's
we
already
see
at the
he's
top.
already there.
Basically, imagine if Goku went Super Saiyan in his fight against Jackie Chun. Kinda sucks all the drama out of it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's the point. Far from the power fantasy the genre is known for, Saitama's life became an existential nightmare. Without suitable conflict, the struggle that had heretofore defined him became meaningless. His new reality was inescapably boring.
Which is really saying something when he can decimate mountains without even hitting them, or shatter asteroids that rank a 9 on the Torino scale. For those not in the Torino, that's equal to 1 trillion tons of TNT. This guy's training must have been insane.
100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and 100 squats, then a 10-kilometer run
And then banana.
every single day!
You've got to be shitting me.
It doesn't make sense because it's not allowed to make sense. To be fair though, to someone who isn't already a trained soldier or athlete, keeping that workout routine every day for years is pretty much impossible.
While 100
Yeah.
push-ups and sit-ups are technically doable, especially if you space them out, doing 100 squats and then
Per
running
day?
a marathon? every single day would absolutely destroy your legs.
Put simply, effective workouts involve shredding muscle fibers at the micro level, then allowing them time to repair themselves more durable than before. This repair process requires hydration, consuming protein and carbohydrates, and lots of sleep.
But Saitama's workout schedule doesn't give them time to repair, which means he was basically just ripping himself to shreds over and over and over. After a few days, he shouldn't even have been able to move, but he just kept going.
There might be an explanation. Take the brilliant scientist Dr. Genus, whose half-century of research into evolution Saitama erased in, well, one punch. According to Genus's hypothesis, Saitama's training broke his limiter.
Basically, every living thing on Earth has a limit to their natural abilities. At some point, no matter how badass they are, they'll plateau. Wait a minute. Have I peaked? I gotta go to the gym.
Well, Saitama trained so hard, he
can
literally
wiggle his
defied
ears.
the laws
Ew.
of nature and reality. He just breaks the logic of his world. He crushed the entire field of evolutionary biology in the palm of his hand.
And while he has stated that his strength did eventually stop growing, it's pretty clear he's never gotten close to showing it off in full.
Such as when he fought the godlike alien conqueror Lord Boros, and finally broke out his serious punch. A blow where he punches
Actually,
little harder
seriously.
than normal.
And reflected Boros' collapsing star-roaring cannon. Now, you see, that's an attack.
That could have blown up the
That
planet.
was going to blow up the friggin' planet.
Yep.
That's over 50 zetatons
I remember.
of TNT.
I've seen this fight.
A trillion of the world's strongest nukes going off at once.
Despite his
That's normal.
obvious and overwhelming power, Saitama's accomplishments were never officially recognized.
Boros' attack
As
was
if
capable
no
of
one in
destroying
their
the
right
Earth. Yeah.
minds could
Just
believe a
confirmed.
psych ward Charlie Brown could save the world.
Well, he doesn't seem to mind. Almost as if being removed from anything resembling conflict gave him a perspective on how tropey and contrived his world is. Only Saitama's the only one in on the joke, because who cares about how far up their own ass a supervillain is when you can just chill at home with your buds and play video games?
Maybe that was the real lesson all along. Not to value our lives based on our accomplishments, but on the time we spend living and enjoying life's simple pleasures.
I'll leave that to Saitama, and I can't think of anything more pleasurable than punching so hard my name becomes a byword for literally unbeatable. This dude is the undisputed king of broken anime characters, because until Saitama finds his equal, he's gonna end all his fights in
One punch!
I guess that takes care of that.
Okay, let's go with Popeye.
Popeye,
More than his equal, but the superior.
Adventurer, sailor, man.
What, huh? How do you like that?
Man, he sounds like he's
I fucking love Popeye's voice. Like, especially in the old cartoon, he's constantly mumbling. He can't shut the fuck up. And he has such a funny voice and such funny quotes.
Popeye's origins are humble. Born to the cruelly named Poop Deck Pappy, Popeye was, immediately upon birth, horrifically ugly. So ugly, his father fled in embarrassment of his spawn and never returned.
Yeah. Plus, he doesn't have teeth. Like, in certain show, like spinach, olive oil, and spinach.
Don't worry, Popeye's
Well,
fists are
like,
righteous.
sometimes in some cartoons, he doesn't have teeth. You just see the gums of his mouth.
Set out to put his combat prowess to
Okay,
the
he has
test
teeth
and join
there.
the Navy, becoming
Inconsistent.
a true sailor man.
It was there he learned the sweet science of boxing and to battle against World War II era racial stereotypes. I'm being non-specific, not just for sensitivity, but because there are
Oh
so
fuck!
many-
Excuse me, I'm pausing. Isn't that the guy from oh shit, it's this one cartoon, yeah, I think it's the guy from this one cartoon, that was covered by, I think it was, it was covered by the nostalgia critic, Darktoon. It's the guy that wanted to kill himself, and the whole episode was about like helping him be a little joyful, not like don't do anything wrong to him. And he's too sensitive and stuff. But then he becomes so fucking annoying to Popeye that Popeye ends up fucking shooting him. Like, not even in the funny way, like, just fades to black, pop, the end.
way he likes.
Oh my
Or rev
god.
up his arm for a punch that'll
Physical
knock you around
maneuverability
the
for full
planet.
awareness.
Popeye's punches are fascinating, since they can disincorporate
Yeah,
their
it sounds
targets
about
into
right.
composite
Can
elements,
summon
like
spinach,
turning
I've seen.
anchors into fish hooks, an alligator into handbags, and several Native Americans. I don't even want to know.
Okay, pause again. I've seen a show where he punched a Native American chieftain into Gandhi. Don't ask me how. Don't ask me why.
He's a cartoon. He can basically do whatever he wants. He can shoot fire from his corncob pipe, pull a canyon close, punch bolts of lightning out of the air, and even give the sun a black eye.
See?
Judging by the distance the sun is from the Earth, as well as the time it took for the high striker puck to reach it, the puck must have been moving at 500 times the speed of light. In order to generate that force, Popeye must have swung his fist just as fast. Hell, he's even shadow boxed
Yes!
so fast he somehow
He can box himself.
at once and hit himself.
Yep.
So, was he just born this way? Is being ugly the secret to pulling insane bullshit superpowers out of your ass?
No.
Because if so, you might want to get on that, buddy.
No. The secret to Popeye's immense physical strength
Is
simply
spinach.
the virtue of nutrition.
I knew you'd find a way to make it lame.
Specifically, Popeye has spent his life consuming a miracle herb that has turned him from a mere sailor into a veritable god. Spinach.
Propaganda straight from the bean counters at Big Vegetable. You'll never get me to eat my
Well, it's
greens,
from a
damn you.
typo.
It's only animal flesh and grain alcohol for me.
Originating in Persia, Spinacia
Oh,
olbachia
he's
is a
gonna tell
leafy
about
green
it.
nutrient and antioxidant-rich vegetable that can help prevent cancer and reduce blood pressure.
And
great.
apparently imbue your biceps with the power of God and anime.
While a normal can of spinach contains about 44 calories, when used in Popeye's world, its effects are multiplied. Not only does it immediately increase Popeye's already impressive strength and speed even further, it makes him virtually impervious to harm.
It lets him fly, turn invisible,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
shape-shift his body into literally anything,
Mhm.
and even survive the universe getting turned off. That's
Yep.
right. This big whatever the hell that thing is apparently God, and he turned off reality in order to kill Popeye and his friends. Because why not? Except guess what? Popeye was fine.
'Cause he
Why?
ate his spinach.
Because he eats his spinach.
I wonder what its nutritional content is like. Let's find out with
Yeah.
No!
A
Yeah.
single can of spinach in Popeye's world was once able to grow a beanstalk so tall it reached
What?
into outer space, all the way to a nearby solar system, and shattered this stylized yellow star. By measuring the volume of
Alright.
the spinach stalk and including the caloric density of regular spinach, we can calculate one single can of Popeye's spinach contains over 46 undecillion calories.
What?
That's over 700 octillion times greater than the total calories the average person will consume over their entire life.
That's over 46 billion Yoda tons of TNT.
Oh my
Enough
God.
to destroy, well, a star. Or enough to punch your annoying neighbor so hard that when they land, they tilt the Earth.
By measuring the angle of the planet
Ooh.
after tilting, we can determine its axis was adjusted by about 13 degrees
Oh.
in less than a second. That's a speed of about 1.8 million meters per second.
I wonder, is that enough to power a rocket ship so fast it travels backwards in time? How
Huh?
does that happen? I only know of one type of herb that'll take you through time. Whatever kind of spinach it is, it sure ain't normal.
Not true. Popeye doesn't consume some special magical spinach. Any kind will do, even if it's handed to him by the audience in the real world watching his cartoon.
He
Oh,
can summon
shit.
cans to his side by
I'm gonna give him some spinach.
gods, painting them into reality, or just waving his hand. The dude
Shit.
literally been disintegrated into nothingness. Then
Yep.
his nothingness grabbed a spinach can out of nowhere and ate it. Nothing ate it. His nothing. And then he came back with his. I don't know.
He can even punch so hard he tears the film strip he's being animated
Fuck.
on, or exit his cartoon to beat the shit out of his own anime.
So Popeye's basically fought two different versions of God and whooped their asses. You know, he's a pretty chill broski considering he's basically a spinach-eating Lovecraftian nightmare.
But he's
Oh,
always
what the
down
fuck?
for a scrap. So
The fuck
if
is
you
that?
decide to antagonize him, be aware you're messing with one of cartoon's all-time heavyweight champions. And, for your own sake, eat your fucking vegetables.
Like a sailor man. Okay. Well, now. You see what I meant with this problem with Asterix versus Popeye? Do you really want him to return after that? Yeah, how is Saitama even gonna touch him? Like, even when dead, Popeye is not dead. I think I know where my vote is on. I'm expecting to be surprised. I'm expecting some kind of Chuck Norris versus Segata bullshit. So maybe this will end in a stalemate. But realistically, there you go. Popeye is just like, he blows up stars. He's outside of reality. Let's just watch it. Let's just watch it. Let's go. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, the
Combatants are set.
Run the data.
For all possibilities, it's time for a death battle! Let me see the goods. Yes.
Oh, man.
Reduction.
Crab's always so expensive. No thanks.
Eat your spinach!
Can't stand no one bad-mouthing me spinach. Come up, yes, big palooka.
You big palooka.
Whatever.
Let's go! Hoo! Hoo! Ooh! Give him the old twister punch!
Well, blow me down.
Yes!
Ain't got a scratch on yes.
I know, right? Overwhelming strength is so
Boring. Death!
I can't read that.
Ooh! Ooh! Let's go!
okay.
Ooh!
A little bit more interesting now.
Fight! Ooh! Ah! He's serious now! Ooh! Ooh! And they get into sprites! Nice! Let's go! There you go. It's a video game now.
Sure is one crazy gazookas.
I'm just a guy who's a hero for fun. Who the hell are you?
I am what I am, and that's all what I am. Ooh.
What do you know? How am I gonna get back home?
Oh! The earth in your face, bitch! Or like a chunk of it. Uh-oh. Ooh! But it's not over. Oh, it's 3D now! What is that? What is this? Ooh! Oh! Oh! I don't get what's happening. Who is this man? Who is this man? No, that's gross. Ooh! Ooh! Oh, he's liking it now. Oh, he's liking it now. Death! Spinach!
Amazing! This is amazing! How did you get so strong?
I eat me spinach! Ooh! Oh shit.
Can this be? My heart's beating so fast.
Oh, he loves it!
I can feel them again.
Yeah!
That's all I can stand, 'cause I can't stand no more.
I never thought it would happen. A serious fight. I found it!
Popeye, get him!
Thank you. Weird spinach mascot.
Let's go! Yes! You're welcome, bitch! Ah, he punched him into eggs. You egghead.
He took a big gamble, but now
Da,
he
da,
is
da, da. He's Popeye the Sailor Man. Yeah. Well, who would have guessed?
That fight was over easy. Except, isn't Saitama's whole gag that he can't lose?
It is.
Yeah, but Popeye is.
More nuanced than that. Despite breaking his limiter, Saitama's strength isn't limitless. He's said so himself.
Breaking his
Oh.
limiter meant his potential strength was likely infinite, but there's nothing left in his world powerful enough to push him to get stronger, like a bodybuilder stuck with 5-pound dumbbells.
He also doesn't possess some magical ability to kill someone in one punch regardless of effort.
Yeah.
Powerful adversaries like Boros and Garo have survived his blows repeatedly, albeit briefly, and
Yeah.
he's never met anyone quite like Popeye the Sailor Man.
According to the
Clearly.
mangaka, One Punch Man's gag is that Saitama is an anime protagonist at the end of his series, slapped in at the beginning of his series, where he's too strong to have a challenge.
So, if we know Saitama's strength does have a limit, what is it?
We know
Oh, he's gonna
like
meet
Boros
his limits
trying to
at the
destroy
end.
class, but he was clearly super casual about it. He may have called it his serious punch, but that's the joke. He's only now getting kind of serious.
In order to get as generous a number as possible, let's assume Saitama was exerting the least amount of effort he could to throw that punch. Since he's still technically a human, we can assume the ratio between the least amount of
Okay,
effort possible and
tell
the
me,
most
show
is
me this.
relatively
How this
consistent with
works.
other humans. Let's just say he burned the equivalent of only 1 calorie relative to the strongest punch ever recorded.
This is a lot. This is a good episode about the
For reference,
calorie
the
and
average person
exercise.
burns about 1
Exercise.
calorie a minute
Sorry.
doing absolutely nothing. So this is assuming Saitama is literally as casual as physically possible.
That'd make his strongest punch about 200 times greater than his weakest. Using Boros' energy blast as a
Damn.
base, Saitama's theoretical strongest punch would be over 11 Yoda tons of TNT. That's absolutely insane. Enough to annihilate Uranus 4 times over.
Well, that's impressive, but it's
Okay.
far less than Popeye's star-busting power.
Yeah, that's the star busting, but
Greater.
like destroying Uranus 4 times over.
Strength, exactly.
It's still
But
good.
Whatever it may be, it can be measured.
That's right, but trying to compare them with just numbers isn't the whole story.
While Saitama can break his world fairly easily, it's still a semi-realistic world that generally obeys the laws of physics.
See?
Popeye in his world, on the other hand, can't really be measured at all. The dude's occupied 2 places at the same time, ripped the film strip he's animated on, and knocked out the
Yeah,
guy drawn
he's
it.
just
He
too
hasn't been able
out
to
there.
Figure that out. Popeye's just on a whole other level of bullshit.
Even if Saitama was strong enough to kill Popeye in 1 punch, Popeye has survived being fully disintegrated, only
Yup.
to recover. Goodness
See?
Hell,
See?
God turned off all of reality,
See?
and Popeye just ignored it.
And on the flip side, there was nothing stopping Popeye from just turning Saitama into a bunch of eggs.
Yeah.
Which he can do without spinach. So even if Popeye was weaker, he'd still have a way to finish the job in 1 punch.
Saitama was easily one of the strongest combatants we've ever seen, but pure strength was no match for Popeye's insane power, survivability, and plain old cartoon shenanigans.
If you thought nothing could match the One Punch Man, now you know Popeye's spinach can.
The winner is
Popeye the Sailor Man. Oh my god. I'm pausing now because I want to talk about this fight. Well, it was great. It was funny. It was hilarious. They matched each other like so well. I was expecting it. You know, I was expecting it. That was kind of my problem. You put so much effort into this. I had no doubt that Death Battle would put all the efforts in it. But I really wasn't expecting that they were gonna swap that they were gonna swap animation in between the fight. Like it was majorly 2D, then it was sprites, then it was this gross 3D. Like why the 3D part? Why the 3D Popeye? At least I got that right. 3D would have been the worst. Oh jeez, that 3D Popeye. That's the true face of a genocide. This is what war crimes are made of. Evil has a face. It is the abyss that stares back. I wanna die now. I wanna die so much. So much. Well, they went back to 2D and hand-drawn. But they really mixed all the styles together, and I think that's a great way to end a season that celebrates Death Battle. It celebrates all the styles of animations we've seen in this fight, in 10 years, except for live action. But then it's not animation, you know. It's not the main part of animation, and yeah, it was wild. They broke reality. Something I didn't talk about in the intro. Saitama loving the fuck out of it. I was expecting that. I didn't mention it in the intro because I forgot. But this was pure. This was at least pure for him. So everyone's a winner. Everyone is a winner in the end. Now I'm just gonna watch the rest of this video, see if they tease the next season with a couple characters, and I try to predict them, and it can be fun. Let's go, 3, 2, 1, go!
And that's a wrap for our anniversary season. Thank you so much for watching and supporting us for over a decade.
Thank you for making a decade of fights.
In 2022.
Let me see, coming soon. Bigger heroes. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! Bigger villains! Death Battle Season 9! Okay, I didn't got the time to watch any of those. Shut up, shut up. What was that? Let me just I think I saw Scarlet Witch. I'm not sure. Let me rewatch this. Let me see. Coming soon. There's this wind. Oh, isn't that oh fuck! I think it's Demon Slayer. I think this is the Scarlet Witch. You have this guy from Demon Slayer. I forgot his name. It's gonna be him. Oh, is that the villain from Akira? I think that's the name. Okay, that's interesting. You have was that another Star Wars character? What the fuck was that? It seems like Star Wars. I don't recognize him. Oh, is it? No, it's not. It's not Grievous. Yeah, you see, there's a Scarlet Witch. There's a Star Wars ship again. Okay. I don't know any of those characters. Wait, the Star Wars guys. Is it Boba Fett? It's possible it's Boba Fett. Because I kind of recognize the characters, but I think that's Boba Fett. I'm not sure about this. There's a Scarlet Witch. That I know at least. What was that? There's a Demon Slayer guy. I forgot his name. Oh, I kind of hope it's him against Inuyasha. I hope if it's Boba Fett, I hope it's kind of Boba Fett versus Star-Lord? Who is that? I haven't seen... Wait. This is me analyzing the fuck out of everything that moves. But it's very hard to see anything. Or anything I can recognize, at least. Okay, quick interruption from after the recording. I finally know all of the characters thanks to the Death Battle Discord. We have Tetsuo, who is the villain from Akira that I didn't remember the name. We have Scarlet Witch. We do have Boba Fett. That is Boba Fett. We have Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. But there are two others that I couldn't recognize. That was Vegeta, apparently. I didn't see him. I didn't recognize him, and I kind of expected he would be back eventually, but I don't know against who. Is it gonna be Vegeta versus 4? Because I know it's a popular matchup. I don't know why, but maybe because they're like a super alien prince or something. With like pride and stuff. But most of all, apparently we have Jinx! We have Jinx from League of Legends! That is so freaking cool! We're gonna have Jinx versus Harley Quinn! Maybe. But I hope we have Harley Quinn's in Death Battle! I hope we have I hope it is Jinx versus Harley Quinn, because I just made I made a thumbnail about it like a couple weeks ago, and I kind of predicted it with this thumbnail, because I assumed with Arcane that they would look up a bit more on it, and I need to watch Arcane. Like, I can't. I know it's on Netflix, but I can't because it's not available in my country right now. So, fuck. But really looking forward for Jinx. Really looking forward to see who Boba's gonna fight. A lot of looking forward. Anyway, that was just me interrupting all your bullshit. Back to what I'm saying. Today, March 2022. Yes. Yes. Well, I wish I could say more about this season 9, but guess I'll have to look it up. Guess I'll have to look it up. Anyway, that's a wrap up for season 8, and that's a wrap up for my own series of reaction. At least for this season, for at least next year. I'm gonna be absent for a while. I can't promise anything, but I'm gonna try to make a video or two during before season 9's comes up, at least. I'm gonna this has been an adventure this season. There's been joy, there's been anger, there's been complete neutrality, a lot of neutrality, and yeah, that's Death Battle in a nutshell. It's a lot of nerd talk, and sometimes you're not happy with it, sometimes you're really fucking happy. Sometimes you're really grateful that it happens. Even the worst matchups, in your opinion, you can't help but just accept them for who they are. It is what it is, and that's all what it is. I can't believe I've been a fan of this for 7 years, and I'm only really sharing my passion for Death Battle now. You know, Death Battle, not long ago, Death Battle on their Twitter account they asked us what was our favorite moments of these 10 last few years. There's these 150 fucking 5 episodes. Like, god damn. I think I'm gonna end this video with a little top 10, or just a 10 compilations of my favorites, my favorite moments in all of Death Battle. Because they've given us some of the best moments, the best crossovers, the best characters. They've introduced me to so many great series, like video games, cartoons, comics. And this season made it great. This season, I would have liked it if it was a more celebrating matchup at the end. You know, like an epic conclusion that everyone can agree on. That doesn't make me appear like a grumpy old shit. But this, like, we can't have all that we want, and we have to think about the others sometimes. And I hope you enjoyed this matchup. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed this season. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Let me know what you thought of this reaction. Let me know what you thought of this season. Let me know what you think of Death Battle in general. I don't care. Make it great. It's all I can ask. Thank you to Death Battle. Thank you to Ben Singer, to Chad James, to Liam, to Devil Artemis, to Tori. Does he still work on Death Battle? Well, he made some kick-ass fights in the past, so I'll thank him. Thank you all of the team who has ever worked on Death Battle, has worked in the past, works currently today, or will work in the future. You're the guys that made me what I am right now. So thanks to your silly concept, I've made friends, I've made enemies, I've made interesting conversations. I've made lifelong memories, and I don't think I'll ever stop cherishing them. Happy 11 years to Death Battle, and to 11 years to come. Still could have been Galactus versus Unicron now. Bye!
Brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light!
Sorry, was that important?
I love it!
That peaceful future Dr. Light fought so hard for turned out to be total bullshit. And if you think about it, it's all his fault. Love and peace are lies, God is dead, and we're all totally...
Stop right there! You would mount that poor pussy like some sort of mule? You muscular fiend!
Dinner's on the king tonight.
You're pretty good.
You're pretty good.